Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to yet another episode of TekTopia. Last time round we constructed that rather large build that you can see behind me, the Grand Library, and I haven't seen your guys' comments of that episode just yet, but I really hope you did enjoy and thank you in advance for any kind words you guys happen to leave about that build. I hope you liked it because yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out, but of course, once again today we are going to be doing some more building, this time focusing on the villager houses themselves. Fingers crossed at the end of today's episode we'll be able to get a few more villagers actually into our fantasy village here. Probably only the basics like the farmers and the lumberjacks, but yes, that is the aim of the game for today's episode. So today we are going to jump straight into some more building, but real quickly before we do that I actually need to talk to you guys about something I have been having a think about in between episodes in regards to the architecture style and how all of our buildings are going to be looking. So if you remember last episode I spoke about how I wanted to change up how the roofs look in this village, not the style, not the shape, my goodness there's a lot of mobs on that roof there, but more specifically the color and the amount of cyan that is going to be in this village. Guards taking zombies, hopefully they're okay. Yep, they're doing a great job getting them off the bridge, I think that was over there. But yeah, it's going to look very samey if we only have cyan roofs throughout the entire of the village here. It's going to look real repetitious and boring. So I mentioned last episode how I was thinking about changing that up a little bit and adding in some extra colors. And as I said, I've been having a think in between episodes about colors that I would like to add in. And I think super quick, while this guard kills the zombie, we're going to hop into a test world and just take a look at what those blocks actually are. Welcome everybody to my TekTopia test world, a place where I do all of my building plans for this series right here, some of which you may recognize actually, like the Wizard Tower from Asteria just over the top of my head there. We actually have the Grand Library and the bridge designs from this village just to my right, and on my left are all of the builds from the Undergrowth, which look awfully weird when they're not underground, but there we go. We're not here to talk about old builds, we're here to talk about block palette for this current village, and these colors right here are the ones I've been debating with using. So of course we have the regular cyan. This right here is my favorite color combo with the dark oak wood. That one is not going to be going anywhere at all. We then have magenta, which I quite like the look of, pink, and then light blue. And of course all of these are just a concrete powder, and wool. Same as what we have with the cyan. So these four along here, I really quite like the look of. I think I'm definitely going to be using them, and these three colors along here, not the cyan, are the builds we're actually going to be building today with the different color roofs. But the purple and the blue, I'm not so sure they work. They're just awfully contrasty. I mean, they're all very contrasty, but these in particular, I think it goes a bit too far with these two. I mean, you guys let me know what you think, but I'm pretty sure for right now, we're just going to stick to these four. But yeah, maybe these two in the future. I'm not sure quite yet. Oh my goodness, that was close. I just got blown up by a creeper all the way down to 1.5 hearts, I believe it was. It's been a while since I've been truly jump scared by one of those things, but he got me good. I need to do a little bit of repairs on this, or I could just probably remove some of the land and work with it that way. I don't know. I'll clear this place up properly in a second, but we are now going to move into doing some of those buildings. So as I said, I think I said anyway, I'm not even sure. I got 3 build designs in mind, 3 different homes with all of the different color roofs, and I think we're gonna do them. I'm not even sure, honestly. I gotta find a nice spot because I'd like to have them all close together just so I can see the different roof styles. Maybe somewhere around here so we get a little bit of that cyan as well and we can kind of compare all 4. So yeah, let's jump straight into a time lapse and get all of those 3 homes fully built up. Whilst we build these 3 houses in the background, I need to ask you guys something. So I would like some building help, if that's okay with you guys. More specifically, building ideas, actually, I should say. So with this fantasy village, I would like to actually do quite a lot of cosmetic building. And in case you don't know what I mean by that, basically builds that serve no purpose whatsoever to the village. So never mind the usual TekTopia structures, the school, the library, the tavern, the villager homes, all of that I will be doing regardless in every single village. But with this fantasy one here, I need to create some builds that are gonna actually make it look like a fantasy village. So just as an example, a bit like the shrine we have at the top of the mountain base, at the top of the mountain, I know that's my base, but it's something that makes it look like a magical elven village, right? I need more of that type of stuff. So as long as I can physically do it in survival, let me know if you have any ideas, whatever it may be, magical, fantasy. I mean, you know, it's imaginative. Just go crazy with it. If you got some wild ideas, I'm open to them. I can modify them in certain ways. Just drop them in the comments, because with Asteria, we actually did a lot of cosmetic building, and so many of those builds in Asteria, not that this is going to be quite the same size, but those are actually viewer suggestions. I used so many of your ideas because you just came up with awesome ones. So yeah, literally anything you can imagine that would fit in an elven fantasy magical village, let me know, because I'm sure you're going to come up with some great stuff. And just to get the ball rolling a little bit potentially, maybe spark some ideas in your own mind, I would tell you some of the things that I'm thinking about doing. So first things first, we are of course going to be doing some custom terraforming in this place. Most likely something we will save till later on, but we are still going to do it regardless. And with the custom trees, however much I'm dreading them, because you guys know my opinion on custom trees, I don't like doing them, but it's worth it in the long run. I'm going to do something that's a bit different to what we usually would have. Maybe I'm not really sure. I haven't thought that much about it, but also want some waterfalls and just other little bits and bobs that make this place feel even more alive than it already is with the villagers walking around. So again, with the shrine at the top of the mountain, take that as an example. Because it has this moving element to it, it looks like it has some sort of purpose in the village, even though it actually doesn't. You know, it looks like it's doing something. It looks like it's this source of power for everything else. I want more things like that. And something I am considering doing, however, it's just a very base idea, is doing something with the 4 elements, you know, earth, water, air, and fire. Possibly something there, I'm not sure. As I said, it's just a very base idea, so if you guys could maybe build on that and let me know what this idea is I'm trying to think of, I'd be very interested to know what you guys can do with that. But yeah, that's just some ideas I'm thinking about. I got a ton more in this noggin of mine, and yeah, I think it should be really good. But regardless, I need more from you guys, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to reading the comments on this episode from all of you. Fun fact, that time-lapse took 45 minutes to render out in replay mod. This entire episode, once I'm done editing it, will probably take half of that, less than I would say. It always takes a long time to shorten down a very large clip. That one was about 2 hours, and then you add shaders on and it just bumps up the render time. It takes a long time with replay mod, at least it does for me anyway. But yeah, we got the houses done, and before we talk about the roofs specifically, just kind of want to mention the actual shape of these builds, because I really quite like them. I tried to do some different things with these 3, so let's take this one right here for example. We actually got a bit of a double roof sort of thing going on here. We kind of could have stopped the roof right here at this point, but we kind of dart up a little bit at the end there. I think that looks quite nice. And this one and this one as well actually have that typical fantasy look where it's very thin at the bottom and gradually like builds up and then thins out again at the roof. I really quite like the look of that, but yeah, went for a bit of a different thing with that one. This one honestly is pretty regular looking, except we have this bit of a balcony here where I'm hoping the villagers will actually be able to access the house from inside of here. That's the plan anyway, as well as the front door of course. And then this one actually has a bit of a different base. Went for something that I don't honestly know if I've ever done before. It's almost like it's foundation, and then yeah, it's built on top of it. I quite like it, and we got this funky looking staircase coming out the back. I just wanted to do something that was a bit different to what I would usually do. I'm trying to make the buildings look completely different, hence why we're doing all of these. Well, not completely different, I shouldn't say, but a little bit different, shall we say. But yeah, hence why I'm doing all of the different color roof types. So let's talk about these for a minute. Honestly, I'll be completely honest with you, it doesn't look as good as a cyan. I knew that wasn't going to be the case, but I'm thinking, in the grand scheme of things, once we have a completed village, many episodes down the line, it's gonna look so much better having these different color roofs as opposed to just having cyan and dark oak throughout the entire of this pretty massive area. So whilst they may not look as good as the cyan individually, as a whole, I promise you, I think it's going to be a good thing. So yeah, I have decided though, I'm not going to do the blue and the purple because the magenta is already pretty vibrant and opposing to the dark oak. I think the blue and the purple are pushing it a little bit, so we're just going to be sticking with the light blue, the pink, the magenta, and the cyan. So yeah, really like these three houses. I haven't done the interiors of them just yet, simply because, well, I want to do some other things before I get stuck into that. So we'll come back to these a little bit later and actually do the inside and get ourselves some villagers most likely. But for right now, I need to pick one of these 4 buildings that we've already done and actually change out the roof colors, because it looks a bit weird, you know, having all of these multicolored roofs and then these 4 being completely the same. So I think I only need to change out one of them for now, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick the barracks, because I think I'll try not to do the same color next to each other with a build. So if these two are pretty close together, there's not going to be a build in between there, so I'm thinking we change out the barracks roof to one of those 3 colors. Not sure what yet. I'm going to pick whichever one I have the most of. Well, that took a surprising amount of time to do. Just changing the blocks over from one to the other took like 20 minutes. I really hope I don't have to do that for the other houses, so fingers crossed you guys like these colourful roofs. I mean, I like them, and it's gonna take quite the opinion to change that. I mean, still, guys, let me know what you think about these. I'm open to all suggestions. But yeah, I would say that it's a job well done. Not going to bother doing the town hall, storage, or library, simply because there really is no need to. We'll just change up the roof designs of the buildings that end up surrounding them when we do eventually get to them. But yeah, really like that view actually over here on the mountain. I'm going to take a land again and just have another glance. I love it, especially the gentle fog in the distance. Doesn't that mountain top there look ever so magical? But anyway, now what I need to do is actually a very quick task, and something I was meant to do last episode but completely forgot, is actually add in some end rods to the other buildings. So we built the library last episode, and I said I was going to go around to the other builds that we'd already done and add in these little end rods every now and again. Forgot to do that, whoopsie. So I'm just going to head round to the town hall, the storage, the barracks, and yeah, add in a few of these here and there. It's actually the next day for me now in real life. You may notice a small hint of morning voice as I speak to all of you, but I actually went ahead and did some extra work after I added in all of the end rods around the other buildings. So I decided to rework the bridges that we have, and the tops here look completely the same. That part hasn't changed, but I've actually redesigned how the bottom part looks and the hanging lights. So before it looked like this, and a lot of you said that it was just too chunky and it doesn't look particularly good, and I'm glad you told me that, because I honestly agree. When I first built them, I wasn't too enthralled about them, but this right here, just with the iron bars and the end rods, just looks a whole lot more delicate and thinner and kind of ethereal like. I actually really quite like how this looks. I did mess around with having colored glass panes in replace of the iron bars, but I actually prefer how this looks right here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I would say it's a definite improvement, maybe something we could change, possibly like having a glass pane just at the top part, and then iron bars, and then end rods. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. I've also changed it for the other bridges as well, so the small one over here crossing over the river, as well as the one that the merchant and the nomads always take just over here, if I can take a land right there. So yeah, I would say it's looking better, but of course let me know what you guys think. I did also actually construct another bridge altogether, which is actually just over this ways a little bit. Let's take a flight. It's now nighttime and very scary around here, waiting for the guards to start taking damage, but this right here is actually my new favorite bridge. I just love how this has come together. I mean, it's just the shape of it. I think it's really quite nice. And yeah, so that right there is actually on top of a mountain, which I didn't think was going to be in the village border, but it actually is, as you can see. So whatever we build up here, the villagers are going to be forced to come along this bridge, and yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. So whatever we actually construct up here, it's going to have to be special, because yeah, it's kind of going to be on its own up there. So if you have any ideas of what we could place on top of the mountain, please let me know. I also went ahead and finished all of the interiors on our 3 homes along here, so let's quickly head in and take a look at all of these. First things first, the magenta house. So the magenta house and the light blue are actually a little bit different in the homes are actually on the top level. So as you can see, you can't fit a house down here. It's way too small. The villagers will feel mega overcrowded. So I've actually had to do something a little bit fancy. So we come up this staircase here, and this is actually the front door. So we'll place the item frame inside, open the door on up, and yeah, this is where the villagers will live. It's enough floor space, don't worry. All of the houses I've just built actually have the exact amount of floor space, 24 blocks for 2 villagers. So cutting it a little bit fine, but yeah, we do actually have enough room. But there's not a whole lot going on inside, as you can see. We've got some chairs out on the balcony, so that would be cool to see the villagers sat out here. It is actually technically in the house, as this is a block, so they kind of consider that to be the ceiling. So they will sit out here and, yeah, sleep in the beds and everything. They'll just have to come up the staircase to actually get inside, which isn't a problem. And let's actually head to the blue one, I think, first of all, before we go in the pink, because, as I said, it's a similar deal. So this house has 2 entrances. They can either go up the staircase through the middle, as you can see, there's one right there, or they could head round the back and go up the outside staircase, which I'm guessing they will do more often, although I don't particularly know. But yeah, they go through this door, and as you can see, pretty empty in here. I do quite like the paintings up there. I think that's a nice little touch, kind of fill in that big open blank wall. But yeah, as I said, very limited floor space. I have literally hit the bare minimum for every single one of these, at least I'm pretty sure. Certainly the light blue and the magenta, but yeah, that is the light blue house. Again, all of these are 2-person homes, but let's quickly go into the pink house, which also has 2 entrances actually. Technically 3, because we got a double doorway here, and then they can also access, I'm fairly certain, up this staircase and then down this staircase here. Not sure how much they'll use it. Maybe if they're off in that direction, they'll come from that way and actually enter. Could be pretty cool. But yeah, this is the 2-person pink house, which I think looks quite nice. There's a bit more going on in here, but yeah, floor space is once again 20 floor blocks. It can be pretty difficult to try and squeeze everything in, but I mean, it fits. And the chairs and the beds, by the way, actually don't take up a floor space. So yeah, altogether it equals 24 floor spaces. So hopefully the villagers are not going to feel overcrowded, which we're actually going to go ahead and get some of them now. So we actually have a 2-person home token already, as well as a lumberjack and farmer profession. We got that when we spawned in the villagers in the town hall and placed that marker down, so that's really good actually. I kind of forgot I had them until I was rummaging around my chest, but we do need to go ahead and buy some more stuff. So first of all, architect, I would like to buy 2-person homes from you, so we can place 1 in each of the 3 houses. So there's 1 and there's 2 for a total of 3. And then we're going to find the tradesman here and get ourselves 3 more farmers, so we can have 1 for each crop. I always like to do that. So we'll have beetroot, carrot, potato and wheat, and then we're just simply going to get 1 more lumberjack. I was messing around with the idea of getting ourselves a cleric just so it can heal the guards, but maybe we'll save that until next episode, potentially when we build up some more houses, assuming I do that. But yeah, lumberjack there, 2, oh I got them the wrong way around, 2 lumberjacks, 4 farmers and 3 home tokens. Let's go place all of these down and hand all of these out. I've placed all of the tokens down and the beds inside have all turned yellow, letting me know that it is in fact a functional home, which is always very nice to see, of course. So unfortunately, no nomads today, just a merchant showed up, so I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to be able to hand all of these out. Fingers crossed I don't have to wait for ages because I don't have long left to record this episode, but hopefully we can at least hand out a couple of these. If we don't get them all, we'll save them for next episode and do them right at the start. Another visit from the lonely merchant. That makes 3. It's actually been 3 whole night cycles and 3 visits from the merchant where he hasn't been accompanied by some nomads. I'm getting really unlucky here and I don't really have the time just to wait around forever and ever so we can hand out these tokens. So unfortunately we will have to do that next episode, but I promise next time we will definitely get at least some. Bearing in mind we actually get some nomads, we will get some other villagers, so it's not only guards in this new village here. But yeah, I just don't have the time to wait around, unfortunately. But that, everybody, is actually going to do it for this episode. I do quickly just want to let you know something before we say goodbye. So Those of you who watch my survival single player series will already have heard me mention this a couple of weeks ago. I thought that sheep just fell off the cliff. But I am now pretty much full-time back to work, and I am actually busier now than I was before the pandemic and before lockdown. So basically my time for recording videos has virtually been sliced in half, which is a shame of course, but it'll just mean we might not get as much done in all of the episodes. I'll still be able to get a TekTopia out for you guys every single week. Do not worry about that, TekTopia is my main priority, but it might just mean we don't do as much in the episodes as we have been doing over lockdown, because of course I haven't been working. I've had all the time in the world. It's not the case anymore, unfortunately, but yeah, hopefully you guys can understand that. But as I said, that is going to do it for today's episode. I really hope you did enjoy it. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.